Welcome back to the Bluechip Breakdown, Vols fans. I'm your host, Bull. We got some news and notes to get to today on a Friday, and happy Friday to everybody. A lot of exciting stuff I'm seeing, man. I think Tennessee, the football team anyway, is on a great trajectory at this moment. But before we get into it, do us a big favor and like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out tremendously. All right, so first and foremost, we're going to be talking about recruiting. Biggest thing right here is that it's been rumored that Tennessee might be switching from Nike to Jordan as far as what the logo is on that jersey. And we all know that some big perks and benefits come with whatever company is sponsoring our team. The players get, shoes, they get different clothes, different items, a whole lot of different, like accessories, things like that. So it's actually going to be huge for recruiting, I think, in all sports if Tennessee can and will switch over to Jordan. Now, Jordan is a brand that's up under Nike, but really, Jordan made Nike, okay? Jordan himself, Jordan's branded, kind of took Nike into the upper echelon and now at the top of all brands, as far as it, whenever it comes to sporting brands and things like that. I think Jordan is number one, okay? Nike is, probably overall number one, but Jordan in itself is kind of like the more prestigious version of Nike. And to this day, every single player likes to wear Jordan stuff. Okay. They love Jordan shoes. I've seen some videos before of teams like Oklahoma, who is sponsored by Jordan, and they've got like a huge collection of Jordan shoes that the players get to select from. And that's really big. Okay. I think that this right here literally could take us from, if we're averaging somewhere around, number 10 on the trail, we'll end up moving up at least one spot just if we switch over to Jordan. So this is a really big deal. Now, the insiders are saying that they haven't heard a whole lot, I guess from the people actually inside of the program stating that this is going to happen. But the contract is up June 2026, so they will be looking into it. And I can tell you right now, if Coach Heupel has anything to say about it, he strikes me as a guy that would like to switch us over to Jordan. Okay, he plays basketball, he likes to play basketball. He just has that swag to him. You know what I mean? Like you can just sometimes tell in the way that people walk, how they carry themselves, if they like Jordan. And still to this day, I haven't met anybody that would turn down a pair of Jordan shoes. Everybody wears Jordans. Again, it's probably the most prestigious brand whenever it comes to, like sporting clothes and things like that. So I'm hoping that this change does get implemented. And, I don't know if Danny White will be the one who is in charge of deciding who the new brand will be, but I'm sure that if he takes a vote from all the coaches, all the players, Jordan is going to win over any other brand out there. All right, now on to visits. Tennessee had a pair of visitors this past week on Wednesday and Thursday. Number one, CJ Bell, 6', 160-pound cornerback. He's a 3-star, but obviously he's a guy that this staff is coveting. I don't think that he has an offer from us just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him get one. All right, and we also had Tyler Partlow, who's 6'4", 265 pounds. I believe that he can be, an inside presence at defensive tackle, or he could be that strong side defensive end. Again, man, we know that defensive tackle is a extreme position of need in the 2025 class. We talked about Ethan Utley. He's going to be announcing on March the 28th where he's going, but we are just targeting more players just in case Ethan Utley decides to go to Texas or Michigan or somewhere else. And it also sounds like Ethan Utley is going to be a guy that will continue to go on visits even after he announces on the 28th coming up here shortly. But I don't think we've offered either of the players that I just mentioned so far, but it is good that they were able to come down on visits and that we're high up on their list if we do decide to pull the trigger on them. Now, on to another cornerback that is expected to be on campus this weekend with his family, and that's Jonte Gilbert. He's a top 100 cornerback, 6', 185 pounds. It says right here that he might be going to Clemson, but the insiders think that we've got a great opportunity to land Jonte. Sounds like he really, really favors Tennessee heavily. And he will be back on campus over the summer for an official visit, hoping that we can close out on several big-time players, in the spring and summer windows. And we'll talk about just a few more before we get into some spring football notes. The next guy is David Sanders Jr. He is a 5-star offensive tackle. He's the best offensive lineman in the entire country. And he's high up on our board, okay? He's the one guy that I think this staff really, really wants to get, probably more than anybody else who's left. It would be huge to have him come in and block for a guy like G-Mac. Well, he said that he will be on campus for our orange and white game. He's going to, spend the entire weekend with his family. And I think that Tennessee continues to trend in the right direction for David Sanders. The last guy is going to be Charles House, 6'3", 288-pound defensive lineman. He could play strong side DN or defensive tackle. He's a guy that this staff covets. And it sounds like he's narrowing down his timeline to the end of spring or, the early summer to make a decision. It sounds like Tennessee's in a really good spot with Mr. House. He's from Charlotte as well, just like David Sanders. So I think that it would help, us to be able to land David Sanders and some other players that we're targeting out there in Charlotte. But again, man, this is a position of need. So we've got to close out on some of these guys that we really like. And I think that he will be upgraded from a 3-star to a 4-star, before it's all said and done, heading into the 2025 season. All right, so on to spring ball. We've got a couple of big notes. Number one, Trevor Duncan, who is an athlete coming out of high school in the 2023 class, is going to be moved over to offensive tackle officially. Now, we did think that this was going to happen, okay? We kind of said early on whenever we were looking at his film, breaking everything down, that it looked like his upside was really at offensive tackle. And I'm happy to hear that that move has been made official. Now, I'm wondering what other position moves are we going to see in spring? I would say that a guy like Emmanuel Okoye, if he hasn't come on very strong at tight end, probably needs to be moved on over to defense. Let's not just waste up a talent like this. Put him on defense where he can pretty much just go hunt. We've said that from day one as well. I'll be interested to see what happens with Mr. Okoye. Now, some more news is that Elijah Herring will not be participating in spring because he's coming off of a shoulder surgery. So that's going to be a problem, I think, for him, especially with the new linebackers coach who said that everyone gets a clean slate and he's going to start from the bottom. We kind of felt like Herring was kind of, on the outside looking in as far as being able to get some good playing time with the, talent that we have at linebacker this season. And I don't think that this is going to help his case out at all. Now, will he be available going into summer ball? I hope so for his sake to, show this coaching staff that he can be one of the better options. But if I was a betting man, I would say that Elijah Herring will not be a starter for our Vols going into this 2024 season. So last segment for today, we're going to be talking about Tennessee using the headsets in spring practice. Now, P and I just talked about this yesterday, how it could help our team out, especially on defense. And then we kind of found some ways that we feel like it could help Nico out in this offense as well. It sounds like we will have the headsets in every single quarterback's helmets. I'm not quite sure about the defense, but I would have to, anticipate that that's what they will do. It just makes the most sense. Everyone else is going to be using this stuff. So why not try to find some ways that we can use it as well? Now, just talking about offense, okay, it doesn't sound like Coach Heupel really likes the whole, headset thing because they like to signal in, their plays and they like to work on tempo. But again, he has to find a way to make this work well for our offense, even if it's just getting some, quick little notes in to Nico or to whoever the quarterback is, kind of like pre-snap saying, hey, look, this is where we kind of see some openings at in this defense, or, there's going to be a blitz coming. Anything that they see that can help us out tremendously. You kind of still do those same regular signals and all of that. But, I would really, for me, I would love to see us find a way to just implement only the headsets and not utilize so much of these hand signals and stuff, because coaches do steal signals. And we saw that, we ended up losing to a South Carolina team back in 2022 that we was way better than. We had no business even being in a close ball game with them. And I mean, South Carolina really took it to us in that game. So a lot of that can happen if you don't change your signals up and all of that. And if you just don't have signals, period, if you're just working off of a headset like the NFL does, it's very difficult to get a beat like that on what an offense is doing. And I would love to see us try to find a way to work that in. So I'll be interested to see and hear if throughout spring practice, maybe if we stop going with the signals, if we're just going all headset and we try to find a way for Nico to kind of signal or, to be able to get everyone on the same page. Now, because we go no huddle, that's going to be very difficult to do. But does Josh Heupel say, hey, maybe I will start to implement a huddle at some points in the game? I think that that would be good as far as being able to get some more players into the mix. But, that's just a whole lot of speculation on my part. I'm very excited to see what happens with that on the offensive end. But on defense, it's huge. Like P and I just said in the previous video yesterday, that you can put in guys that maybe, are younger or, don't necessarily know what to do on every single play. Put a headset inside of their helmet and, just let them kind of go to work. You can tell them, hey, this is what the play is that we're going to be running here, and this is what you're going to be doing. I think that that would help us get some good talent out on the field earlier and just be able to keep everyone happy. I don't know if we'll use it that way. Probably not. I don't think anyone does use it that way. But just thinking outside the box, I just feel like that would be a great way for us to get some younger guys more involved in what's going on out there on the field. And again, be able to keep our talent at the University of Tennessee. But those are my thoughts. Let me know y'all's down in the comments section. That's it for this video. As always, thank y'all for sticking all the way to the end. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace.